back up again and moving into more of a bull market? Do you see that this is going to go sideways for a while longer? Do you see any kind of time horizons or any particular trends that might lend itself toward an event that would give us an indication of something changing?
Well, clearly, I think, when people compare 2017 to 2018, some people got really scared of what's happening on the market in 2018. But frankly speaking, I think that 2017 was a far more scarier for, the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in common, because there were lots of scams and the whole industry, personally to me, seemed more like a bubble. But in 2018, we've seen a lot of support coming from the institutional players, and there are quite a few signs showing that the trend will change rather soon, because of all the signals that are coming from the outside. So we suppose that we're not expecting this super bull rally anytime soon, but I guess the price correction will start somewhat from spring. Well, actually first day of spring today. So, but I guess starting from April, I think we'll see the Bitcoin getting closer to maybe the level of $5,000. And
do you attribute that at all to the Bitcoin halvening, which of course we've historically seen Bitcoin go upwards about a year before the halvening starts? So do you see that having any kind of convergent impact on the whole crypto market moving as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure that the halving will create a huge impact on the market, because just seeing the figures from 2012 and 2016, why would it be completely different in 2020? So I think the big correction is coming in, and we're speculating here, so just our official opinion as a fund, and judging by the waves analysis that we performed earlier, we see that the price range could be as high as $30,000 to $70,000 per Bitcoin in 2020.
$30,000 to $70,000 dollars per Bitcoin.
In 2020?
2020, or 2021. But I guess it might happen in 2020. But
that's a good reason to hodl.
Yes. Well, it could be. But I guess most of the crypto investors are just holding their cryptocurrencies at this point of time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's yet another great opportunity, just when you just go with some service like funds offer, you have a great chance, of keeping and increasing your capital.
So now the other thing, of course, is that most people that are probably watching or listening to this are probably wondering, or probably thinking to themselves, but surely, you're a hedge fund, and hedge funds are for people that have, minimum $50,000, $100,000 to put in. So, there's no chance for them to jump in. So what do you say to people who are thinking like that, saying, yes, there's 600 and something hedge funds out there, and, and they're saying, yeah, but there's no chance for me. What's your response to that?
Well, the thing is that, for example, as for the Quantum Hedge Fund, our investment plan starts from $500 at this point of time.
Okay.
We're changing that soon because, you can imagine the amount of headache we're getting during the KYC, and obviously the support is
client reporting and all that data you have to supply to, but
it's quite tough. But at the same time, we understand that why not let people invest in crypto, because it's a great opportunity, and at this point of time, we still managing just fine, even though with this kind of entry investment. But obviously in the future, and I think within throughout this year, we will definitely change that to $10,000. And guys, it's for anyone watching this video, it's not an investment advice, but I guess that the cryptocurrencies are currently being at their lows right now. So whether you go in with some fund or any others, or trading or any other means of, I think, well, at least you could consider, buying a Bitcoin and just holding it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Maybe it would be a great opportunity, because we don't see the Bitcoin going, any lower at this point of time.
Okay.
I think, well, the level of $3,000 would be, where the support comes in. So.
Sure.
Yeah, so of course, as we always say to people, we're not here to give people advice, but for those who are considering whether they should get into Bitcoin or not, as we always say to everybody, it never hurts to diversify your portfolio a little bit. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of crypto in your overall portfolio between some stocks and some bonds and other real estate or whatever else you're in, but never invest more than you're willing to lose, like anything,
Absolutely.
because anything can go wrong. But
right.
we all see that it's becoming it's not so much a nascent investment or a new investment anymore. It's becoming something that's more standardizing as we go, which is probably why people like you and a vast variety of other firms have come along, because people need various vehicles or ways to invest in crypto, not just do it themselves, right?
Absolutely. Besides, well, the cryptocurrencies, well, for many regions, I believe that cryptocurrencies could be a good chance, to save their savings from the inflation, and different countries have different situations on their local currencies. So,
Right.
in that sense, well, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are quite stable, and could be a good way to preserve or even multiply your capital.
Yeah. So Jan, is your fund open to everybody in the world, or are there certain countries that you are not allowed to work with because of regulations?
We're open for investors from any parts of the world except for United States of America at this point of time, because, well, their regulations are changing so quickly, and so just it's either you work with just in America, just to keep track of all the changes that happen all the time.
Yeah.
But at this point of time, we have decided that we would rather not risk it, and just see what happens, because, well, it might get quite, tricky. And especially that, well, we're not working with just some particular region. Yes, we have a focus on the Europe, Asia, but it's really very hard to keep the track of all the legislation changes coming, and so we carefully approach this matter.
Sure. And I think Steve actually asked us a little bit in the beginning, but just for your own background, what made you decide that you wanted to be part of a quantum cryptocurrency fund?
Well, I think, well, in the beginning, well, the technology, I'm a big fan of, IT enthusiast. I'm not really, a programmer or anything like this, but I always, enjoy and try, staying, on the verge of technology. And personally, I'm a big blockchain enthusiast. I absolutely love the technology, and I'm seeing it implemented successfully in different, industries such as medical care, well, insurance, retail, product, marketing and whatnot. And so at some point of time, it has got me really interested, and I've met people who were sharing the same opinion as myself on crypto and blockchain. And after that, we have found it to be a really good ground, for the trading, and having tested all the approaches that we had back then on traditional markets, and seeing how good it actually works out.
Sure.
We have decided that why not create a fund and just share some of our expertise with the people.
Sure.
And the original plan was start the fund in 2017, but, well, thanks God we did not, because, well, it would be the market was obviously overheated, and our initial plan was to launch in Q4, Q3 2017, but it would be right before the crazy price, volatility, and it kind of means that we could have got people on board at the high prices, and they would witness a high depreciation of their assets during this time. So and nobody
albeit they may not have lasted very long.
Yeah. So 2018 seemed like a perfect moment for us, and despite different things that are happening on the market, and many people are being quite depressed with the price of Bitcoin, but I'm really seeing the great opportunities for the market, for the fund, and I think many great things are just yet to come.
Yeah. Oh, good. So in regards to regulations, how do you handle regulations? And how are you regulated?
Well, basically we operate from 2 offices, from Hong Kong, and we have the office in Gibraltar. Our trading operations, our analysts are in Hong Kong, and the Gibraltar officers offers us, we have the broker license on it. So basically, it allows us to sell and buy crypto assets. And just a little sneak peek, but I'm not sure, but in the future we were considering that through the Gibraltar office, it would be a great opportunity for the big investors that find interest in our fund, to help getting some cryptocurrencies like Bitcoins, because, it might get quite risky, trying, to purchase big volumes of cryptocurrencies by yourself.
So we're just for 1 second, we're having a technical difficulty. There you are, Yuri. Okay, cool. Well, now we lost your sound.
I'm back. Sorry,
okay.
All right.
Okay,
Sorry.
Cool. Great. That was really helpful, Jan. So thank you for that. I mean, I appreciate that too, because how much so go on that regulatory theme? How much do you see that future regulation is going to impact the kind of work that you and other crypto funds are doing? Because I know that for a lot of funds, there's no regulation being applied. They're kind of doing their own thing, whatever they feel like. Nobody cares, or they don't care anyway. And how do you see the convergence between global regulation and the hedge funds and the crypto funds that are out there today? And how is that going to shape the industry and market you're in?
Well, Steve, first I fully agree with what he's saying, because at this point of time, the cryptocurrencies, the crypto market seems a little like a wild west to me, because basically they're not real regulations so far, because, America has plenty. Some countries just decided, that we should ban the cryptocurrencies at all. But definitely, anything could happen. Really, anything could happen. But I mean, despite the decentralized architecture of Bitcoin, it is still possible for the regulators, to regulate. And it really depends. It's really different for many parts of the world, but I'm seeing that the governments, instead of, just trying to regulate the hell out of it, they just seen it, or thanks God they do. They seen it as a high promising technology. I mean, blockchain, and they see the cryptocurrencies as potentially one of the assets that the government can find the use of. So I think nobody is going to, to pull the plug or anything like this. But I'm pretty sure, and I think that would be the right thing for the governments around the world to at least, find some regulations on the funds operations and the ICOs, because you were right, just because, at this point of times, it seems more like, the private firm, just when it's it's not that you really need